Rick, for those who may not know your story, how did your injury happen?
Well, I was 15 years old, a young kid from Williams Lake, British Columbia. My whole life revolved around physical activity, sports, hiking, the outdoors, the use of my legs. And then one day I was coming home from a fishing trip with a buddy, and we got a ride in the back of a pickup truck. And the guy crashed going around a corner, and unfortunately my back was injured, and the spinal cord was damaged, and I became paralyzed. And that was a huge challenge for me at the age of 15.
Yeah, I mean, tell me about sort of that first year after finding out what had happened. I mean, I can't imagine.
You know, coming from that environment where I never knew anybody with a disability before, and all of a sudden, you know, I couldn't use my legs and was going to be either in a chair or walking on crutches and braces. My sport activities were not possible. Thinking about what was possible for the outdoors, all of those things really forced me into a deep depression. I was angry at the driver. I wasn't accepting responsibility for getting in the back of the pickup truck. I was just basically, you know, filled with a lot of fear of what the unknown was all about, and had to rebuild my life and see new possibilities. And that took a long time because it was starting all over again. And fortunately, I had some great family and friends and role models that surrounded me and inspired me and didn't give up on me and encouraged me to work through those tough, dark days. And I think the most important thing is hanging on to hope and believing, you know, that life can be better, and working really hard at it when it's painful, and knowing that you've got people there with you when the times are tough. That's what got me through it. And then I was able to realize, boy, I could still be an athlete again. I didn't have to use my legs. I could be in a wheelchair and use my arms and, you know, be propelled by my heart. And that wheelchair sport was all over the world in 100 plus countries, thousands of athletes, and all of my hopes and dreams were waiting for me. But I just had to reframe and deal with the changes.
That's a powerful thing to say, that you reframe or reposition your mind to accommodate the circumstances that life has dealt you.
Yeah, and how, you know, looking back on it, I can understand it more technically, but, you know, as a young kid, you know, 15, struggling through this issue, you know, I was realizing that, you know, that I had to search back to where the source of my pain was coming from. And most of my pain that I was struggling through wasn't because of the situation that I couldn't use my legs. It's like I'd put an artificial kind of trap in my head about what my life was going to be like, and it meant I had to stand up. But I was still Rick. I was still an adventurer, you know, a guy who loved the outdoors, who loved sport. I had to just kind of do it differently. And as soon as I released from that old sort of model, and I started realizing, gosh, yeah, I can still do all these things. They're just waiting for me. So I really had a handicap in my mind because of my lack of education or awareness or experience that I had to deal with.